Welcome back to AFT Dice Season 3. It is round 11. Let's go to the first game. It is Essendon versus Western Bulldogs at MRVL Stadium. Let's go to the first quarter. The first quarter has nearly been processed, and Essendon have kicked 4-2 to the Western Bulldogs 6-1. That was a big score from Western Bulldogs in the first quarter against Essendon. They're 11 points up. Let's go to the second quarter. Western Bulldogs, Essendon are in the bottom four. Essendon have kicked 3-1 to Bulldogs 6-3. And at half time, Western Bulldogs are leading by 31 points. All right, let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Essendon have kicked 3 goals, 2 to the Bulldogs, 6 goals, 5. And at three-quarter time, Bombers are down by 52 points. The scores, Essendon 10-5, 65 to Western Bulldogs 18-9, 117. All right, let's go to the last round. Let's see if the Western Bulldogs can kick another 6 goals for the last quarter. No, they can't. Essendon have kicked 3-2 to Bulldogs 4-5. And in the end, Bulldogs have won by 61 points. All right, the final scores, Essendon 13-7-85 to the Bulldogs 22-14, 146. Let's go to the next game. It's Sydney versus Fremantle at the SCG. First quarter's done. Sydney have kicked 6 goals, 4 to Freo 2-2. Sydney have got a handy lead of 26 points at the first break. Now let's go to the second quarter. Sydney have kicked 6 goals, 1 to Freo 3-3. And at half time, Freo are down by 42 points. Sydney 12-5-77 to Freo 5-5-35. All right, let's go to the third quarter of this game. Let's see if the Fremantle Dockers can kick back. All right, Sydney in the third quarter have kicked 6 goals, 1 to Freo 4-4. And at three-quarter time, Sydney are up by 51 points. Very similar to the last game. Let's go to the last quarter of this Sydney and Fremantle game at the SCG. In the final quarter, Sydney kicked 4-1 to Fremantle 5-6. And in the end, Sydney have won by 40 points. Sydney final score 22-7, 139 to Fremantle 14-15, 99. All right, let's go to the third game. It's Melbourne versus Richmond at the MCG. Let's go to the first quarter. And Melbourne have kicked 1-3 to Richmond 1-4. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter being processed. And Melbourne have kicked 1-2 to Richmond 5-6. And at half time, Melbourne are down by 29 points. All right, let's go to the third quarter. See if Melbourne can get a score on the board. All right, Melbourne have kicked 5 goals, 3 to Richmond 3 goals, 6. And at three-quarter time, Melbourne are still down by 20 points. Let's go to the last quarter. And Melbourne have kicked 3 goals, 4 to Richmond 3-2. And in the end, Richmond have won by 18 points. Final scores, Melbourne 10-12-72 to Richmond 12-18, 90. All right, let's go to the next game. It's West Coast Eagles versus GWS at Optus Stadium. And the first quarter is nearly done. It has completed. West Coast 3-3-21 to GWS 6-2-38. All right, let's go to the second quarter. In the second quarter, West Coast have kicked 2-4 to GWS 4-1. And at half time, West Coast are down by 26 points. All right, let's go to the third quarter. GWS are in 13th spot. West Coast are in 5th spot. West Coast have kicked 4 goals, 6 to GWS, 3-5 that quarter. And GWS are in front by 19 points. All right, let's go to the last quarter of this game. And the last quarter, West Coast have kicked 3 goals, 6 to GWS, 3-4. And in the end, GWS Giants have won by 17 points. Final scores, West Coast 12-19-91 to GWS 16-12-108. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Geelong versus Carlton. And the first quarter is done. Geelong have kicked 1-6 to Carlton 2-4. All right, Carlton are in front by 4 points. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter, Geelong kicking 2 goals forward to Carlton 5-6. And at half time, Geelong are down by 24 points. Could this be the second game in a row that they lose at their home ground? All right, let's go to the third quarter. See if Geelong can put a score on the board. All right, Geelong kicking 2 goals, 5 to Carlton 1-3. And at 3-quarter time, Geelong are down by 16 points. Let's go to the last quarter of this game. Now, the last quarter's done. Geelong have kicked 3 goals forward to Carlton 5-1. And in the end, Carlton have won by 25 points. Geelong, final score 8-19-67 to Carlton 13-14-92. All right, let's go to the next game. It is Brisbane versus North Melbourne at the Gabba. And the first quarter has been done. Brisbane have kicked 2 goals, 6 to North Melbourne, 4 goals, 4. All right, second quarter underway. Second quarter's done. Brisbane have kicked 3 goals, 1 to North Melbourne, 4-1. And at halftime, Brisbane are down by 16 points. All right, let's go to the third quarter of Brisbane and North Melbourne. Let's go to the... It's waiting for the third quarter to complete. Okay, it's completed. Brisbane are kicked 3 goals, 6 to North Melbourne, 3-5. And at 3-quarter time, Brisbane are down by 15 points. All right, let's go to the last quarter of this game. So who wins? All right, Brisbane have kicked 3 goals, 2 to North Melbourne, 5-6. And in the end, North Melbourne have won this game by 31 points. All right. They are on top with a game clear. Let's go to the next game. It's Gold Coast versus Adelaide Crows at Metricon Stadium. The first quarter's been done. Gold Coast have kicked 3 goals, 5 to Adelaide, 5-2. Let's go to the second quarter of this game. And second quarter's been done. Gold Coast have kicked 2 goals, 4 to Adelaide, 5-6. And at half-time, Gold Coast are down by 29 points. Let's go to the third quarter of this game. And the third quarter's been done. Gold Coast have kicked 1-2 to Adelaide Crows, 4-6. And it looks like Adelaide might win this game. They are 51 points in front. All right, let's go to the last quarter of this game. And big score, big quarter for that for both sides. Gold Coast have kicked 6 goals 5 to Adelaide 6-3. And in the end, Adelaide have won by 49 points. All right, Gold Coast final score 12-16-88. Adelaide Crows 20-17-137. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Hawthorn versus Port Adelaide at Marvel Stadium. And the first quarter's been done. Hawthorn have kicked 5-3 to Port Adelaide 4-5. Close. Hawthorn are up by 4 points at quarter time. Second quarter, Hawthorn have kicked 3 goals 2 to Port Adelaide 1-5. And at halftime, Hawthorn are leading by 13 points. All right, let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Hawthorn kicked 3 goals 4 to Port Adelaide 5-1. And at 3-quarter time, Hawthorn are just 4 points up. Hawthorn 11-9-75 to Port Adelaide 10-11-71. Very close this game. Let's go to the last quarter to see who wins. And it looked like Hawthorn having a big quarter. They kick 6 goals 1 to Port Adelaide 4-6, and Hawthorn wins the game by 11 points. Final scores: Hawthorn 17-10, 112 to Port Adelaide 14-17, 101. All right, let's go to the last game of the round. It's St Kilda versus Collingwood. Let's go to the first quarter. And St Kilda have kicked 1-5 to Collingwood 4-4. Collingwood off to a good start, 17 points up at quarter time. Second quarter, St Kilda have kicked 3 goals 1 to Collingwood 6-4. And at halftime, St Kilda are down by 38 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter's been done. St Kilda kicked 4-4 to Collingwood 5-4. And St Kilda at 3-quarter time are 8-10-58 to Collingwood 15-12, 102. Let's go to the final quarter of this game. And St Kilda have kicked 3 goals 1 to Collingwood 5-6. And in the end, Collingwood have won by 61 points. All right. Okay, final scores: St Kilda 11-11-77 to Collingwood 20-18-138. That puts Collingwood off the bottom of the ladder. They're still 3 games behind the teams in the 8. But that concludes round 11. Let's go to the ladder. The top 8 sees it as North Melbourne are on top with a game clear, beating Brisbane at the Gabba. Sydney Swans are second, Port Adelaide are third, St Kilda fourth, and rounding out the 8 is Hawthorn, West Coast, Adelaide Crows, and the Brisbane Lions. All right. We'll see you next time on AFT Dice Season 3.